Hi, this is Jennifer, and today we're going to go over effective instruction in your content area, instruction that works, classroom culture, and curriculum basics. Everything that I chose I felt related most to teaching in mathematics. So first is instruction that works. So provide multiple entry points into every subject or lesson. So that's showing math numerically, visually, through videos. I could use stories to present ideas, questions, and hands-on manipulative such as base 10 blocks to try to work with the ideas in mathematics. And then using a range of instructional modes that could be through discussions, group work, activity, notes, lectures, as many different ways to reach every student. And then to use a variety of formats and group representations. There's appointment times in math where you can work on homework problems or problems in pairs of 2. You can work with your tables in groups of 4, review activities in groups of 7, or just informal groups to work on homework. So instruction that works. Organize students into groups based on strengths. This is really good when they're working on groups in math problems, so the stronger students can help students that may be struggling. Provide regular opportunities to collaborate. This is great because sometimes students will not only gain information from lectures, so it gives them the opportunity to work with others to understand the material. Provide different types of support to students. There is a variety of students with IEPs, so it's important to try to teach in multiple different ways to reach students who may not learn the traditional way. And give students a variety of ways to demonstrate their understanding. Allow students to be the teacher. Give them ways where they can show you that they understand the material instead of maybe just a test. And allow students to choose the strategies they want to use. This comes into place with teaching students multiple different ways of understanding a problem so they can choose the method that reaches them. And repeat a sequence of progressively more difficult tasks. So when teaching a lesson, starting off with the core of the lesson and progressively get harder as opposed to just throwing all the difficulty in the lesson the first day. And use positive and optimistic language. It's very useful when you do that when students who may have difficulty in math, they solve a problem right and you're like, wow, you did it. All of a sudden they get all this encouragement. And then classroom culture. So organize students into groups based on strengths. I've noticed when you choose the tables in which a student sits at, the stronger students at the table may help students that are struggling more. Provide different types of support throughout learning. So students with IEPs, it really helps when you provide them with their own notes as opposed to having them write down their notes. It keeps everything more organized. Provide examples of what successful performance looks like. So when solving a problem, instead of just skipping through steps, writing each step by step, so students understand the work that you want them to show maybe on a test. Cultivate a safe, respectful environment at all times. Just being a respectful teacher. Speak with students privately. This is important to not publicly humiliate a student. You want the student to have respect for you, and by throwing them under the bus in front of the class, that may not be the most effective way to reach that student. Provide concise directions. This keeps everything organized and stops chaos in the classroom. And make room for mistakes during the learning process. I found this particularly important because me as a teacher and a new teacher, I do make mistakes in math and I admit to them, and I want to show students that it's okay to make mistakes in math. You can learn from them and it's not going to be the end of the world. So having students understand that is acceptable, especially in the math world. And then curriculum basics. Ask yourself, what do I want students to know? So especially when writing lesson plans, that's the key idea. What do I want them to know? Use different types of instruction to teach skills and knowledge. Offer opportunities to practice and apply the skills. I feel that's very important because after lecturing, students really need to practice. And providing them with a range of activities for them to practice instead of a worksheet may make math not only more fun, but it may help, they may enjoy it more collaborating with other students. And then teach a range of skills and types of knowledge. So model and incorporate for students. And then generate a variety of connections. Especially in math, it's so important that students can see connections between two different problems because there's so many ways to solve math. So this could be through structured note-taking, timely and appropriate connections. So maybe you have two students come up to the board and one student solves the problem in one way and another student solves the problem another way, and it's making connection like, look, they both have the same answer, but look at where they solved it differently. And identify opportunities for possible connections when planning for teaching. So assign specific students the role and use connections to increase engagements. So just having students come up to the board and solve a problem as opposed to me already provides this sense of engagement because other students are watching them, and other students may feel more comfortable raising their hand and asking them problems. It gives the student the time to be the teacher, which I feel is important and involves them more in the lesson. So those are the three, and I definitely agree with everything that Burke says.